Hello and welcome to Forever Sports. Springbok season has officially begun, I suppose. Well, Springbok year rather has officially begun with the first day of the alignment camp happening down in Cape Town, coming to an end. With Rassie Erasmus saying he is very satisfied with what is seen on day one. And this is, I think, one of the biggest reasons the Boks have been successful in recent years. It's these alignment camps. It's these sessions, which are not even on the field, but all about basically building the Bok culture, the Bok expectations, and kind of building the building blocks, or putting together the building blocks, probably the better way of saying it, of the Springbok team, and sort of paving the way for success. And the big thing about this is making sure everybody understands what's going on, and it's quite interesting if you look at the coaching staff. This coaching staff has been far more than just what happens when you get on the field. They talk about experience, not so much just from being in positions on the field during games, but experiences that you have whilst being a Springbok. And that includes things like traveling, how the travel preparations work, how your match day preparations work. How does the warm up work, for example? How does your halftime chat work? How does your analysis sessions work afterwards? From a Monday to a Friday, what does a Bok work week look like? And this is kind of what part of these alignment sessions. I mean, this is why it's far more than just Rassie Erasmus saying, if you want to be a Springbok, you've got to tackle hard. If you want to be a Springbok, you've got to be fast. It's about understanding the logistics. Right, this is where we're traveling. This is how we're traveling. This is when we're going to travel. These are our expectations. When you arrive in camp, this is what you will do. This is how you've got to behave, for example. This is how the touring works. And this is the sort of how we select the team. And the whole idea is that any players who arrive at the camp leave understanding exactly where they are, where they kind of might fit in, and what they need to do to be able to be part of a Springbok setup that is being very, very carefully created and put together by a bunch of experts. So let's get into what Rassie Erasmus had to say. So basically, it's basically a whole bunch of workshops. So basically, there's a morning gym session, and that's obviously for your Andy Edwards and the likes of that to get a baseline from all the Boks, understand where they all are, for example, and also a lot of these players are obviously still playing in mid-season, so they kind of need to make sure they keep up that fitness. So it starts with a gym session, and then the afternoon, there were a bunch of different coaching workshops. And, that's basically where some of the coaches presented their plans. Charles Vessels, the team manager, he presented the traveling plans and the likes of that. And basically, they kind of sort of split up. So, something like a Don Human will say, right, this is the plan for your front row. And Dion David will talk about the line-up plans and sort of the forward plans and kind of the way we're trying to play and the likes of that. So commenting on it, Rassie said the following. He said the coaches had a good interactive session where we did a deep dive into all the different areas of the game. And everyone gave their input on the areas we believe we need to improve in and focus on this year to reach the standards we would like to at the training and on the field of play. It was certainly a productive workshop and allowed us to align completely while at the same time setting the tone for what we want to present to the players. That's very important. Basically saying, right, you want to be in 2027, this is what you got to do. And that's as relevant to the current players as it is to the new players coming in. Sia Khaleesi, if you want to be the Springbok captain in 2 years' time, this is what you got to do. Ruan Fente, if you want to be the starting number 7 in 2 years' time, this is what you got to do. This is what we're looking for in our starting lineup. This is what we're looking for in our squad. And making sure everyone kind of aligns with the vision. And he said it was fantastic to see how the new players, those who have been at alignment camps before, and other players who have been in the setup for years, all shared in the excitement of being invited to the camp and soaked in the information and structures we shared with them. He said Wednesday session will follow a similar structure with the other coaches presenting their plans within their specialist areas. So we are confident that the players will leave the camp with a clear picture of what we expect of them and what it'll take to be part of the playing squad this year. I mean, interesting part that Rassie spoke about the fact that majority of the players that go to these alignment camps probably won't even play this year. Might not play. Obviously injuries and the likes of that will dictate. But is 80 players involved in the alignment camps? We're not going to use 80 players this year. Only 33 odd players will go to the World Cup. So we're dealing with more than double what our squad size will be. But it's about making sure that all these players understand the structures so that if there are injuries, and well, not even if, when there are injuries, because it always happens, they can come in and be ready. They can come in and understand how it all works. And I truly believe that the alignment camps have been one of the biggest reasons for our success. It's one thing, obviously, when you're on the field and the way you play, but it's understanding that everyone's knows their part they play in the in the team and how to get there and what they're going to do to become the players that are Springbok worthy. So hopefully we'll get another update tomorrow. But I mean, it's really cool. It's a video on the Springboks social media of them all in the gym, and you see a lot of new faces. For example, in the green and gold, Urenda Julius is over there, and you start to see some of these players in Springboks with the gear for the first time ever. So it's always exciting, and it really sort of starts the process of Test match rugby for the year. Even though our first test is probably going to be end of June. But which of these players are you really excited to see this year? Let me know down in the comments below. Smash the like on the video, subscribe to the channel as well. Thank you very much for watching. My name is Steve. I'll chat to you soon.